Hey, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matthew Jackson, one of the team members of 401k Maneuver. Welcome to this week's episode of the 401k Maneuver YouTube video blog. And I got a great episode I'm super pumped to share with you guys today. I'm talking today in this episode about 5 ways that you can reduce financial stress right now. You know, like many of you, I'm actually still sheltering in place. Welcome to my home office. And as I've been getting out a little bit more around Colorado, I've been talking with people and they've been really sharing how they're stressed out about their finances because either bills are creeping up and maybe they're getting behind because they've been furloughed or their pay's been reduced, or they're just uncertain about what's going to happen with the economy going forward. So we at 401k Maneuver, as you know, we're just dedicated about helping you be better stewards with your money, better investors, and better educated. And before I dive into the content of today's episode, I just want to say I hope that you're taking time right now in your life to level up. And because you're watching this, I know that you're serious about leveling up because you're increasing your knowledge about your finances, you're decreasing your stress, which helps you physically, and I hope that you're getting out and maybe doing a mile walk or a half a mile walk, gardening more, just looking up and checking out the blue sky and excited about the new day tomorrow. I also hope that you're leveling up spiritually, where maybe you're getting more connected with what you really want out of life while you're sheltering in place, what your life is going to look like after this pandemic is over. And every day we have the unique opportunity to reshape our life as the way that we want it. And I hope that you're taking the opportunity to do it. We're inspired at 401k Maneuver by people out there doing great things just like you. And I'm going to hop right into today's content because it's just super important with what we're going through right now. And with the way that the current economic situation is, many Americans feeling really anxious and worried about their finances. And listen, if that's you, you're not alone. So don't feel bad. And kudos to you again for watching this YouTube episode to learn how you can decrease your stress and be better with your money. And no matter your situation, there are things that you can do right now to reduce your financial stress, and that's what we're committed to, providing value in your life that you can take tomorrow and put to work right away. So I want to start with this. doxoINSIGHTS COVID19 Impact report, which was actually released earlier this month in May of 2020, it gave us a pretty good idea of the economic impact that this virus has taken on Americans all over the country. And here's some of the stats that it revealed. 69, and hold on for your hats, this is pretty crazy. 69% of households don't have enough in savings to last 4 months. And if that's you, don't feel bad because obviously that's the majority of Americans. But there are things that you can do to change that, reverse that course. 35% of households cannot make it a month without having a cash shortage. And 59% of households aren't sure about their ability to cover upcoming rent or mortgage payments. That's why people are stressed out, you guys. And guess what? Here's the good news. We have complete control to change that. Let's dig a little bit deeper. A whopping 82% of the people that were surveyed in this recent report are worried about either making their ends meet until not either, but they're worried about making their ends meet until the economy starts to recover. When's it going to recover? We don't know. Is it going to be next month? Is it going to be next quarter, the end of the year, or next year? That's kind of scary. And I don't know about you, but if there's unknowns in my life, that always causes stress for me. And I'm sure you may be the same. Interestingly enough, the study also revealed that younger generations are more worried about their finances than older age groups. And while the economic situation for many Americans is really bleak, and I'm sorry to say that, there's actually a silver lining in all of this. Here's the silver lining that we at 401k Maneuver believe there is in all of these clouds, and that is it's forcing good people just like you to rethink how they manage their finances. And it doesn't matter if you're still receiving a steady paycheck, if you've been furloughed, or if you've had a decrease in your pay, or your spouse has been let go. It's important to protect what you do have to prevent further financial troubles. Because after all, we don't know what's going to happen. That's a big deal. So I just want to share with you a little personal note. What this has done for my family during this time is we always have our minds on our money and our money is on our mind, but it's really given us a little bit of extra time to really get into our budget and find out those little gaps that we can be improving on to make our financial situation better, to decrease our stress. So if you're hopeless on where to get started or you're wondering what do you do, keep watching, because I'm going to start with these 5 things that you can be doing right now to decrease your stress. And here's the first one. And oh, by the way, if you got a paper and a pen handy, you might want to take some notes, okay? Because I hope that you can create an action plan off of what we're doing. This isn't just industry jargon that I'm going to be sharing with you. This is actionable intelligence that you can put to work right now. If your finances are covered and you're feeling pretty good about them, but you've got adult children or children over the age of 10, you can share this with them as well and get them a leg up about their finances. So the first one, and this is big, is get engaged with your finances, everybody. Get more in touch with them. And here's what I mean. Perhaps the quickest way that we at 401k Maneuver feel that you can reduce your financial stress is really to get engaged with your money. This means sitting down and reviewing your finances, yes. Review your spending habits. Review your household expenses, your debt, your savings, and investments. That's the biggest way that you can actually get a path on how to improve your financial life. Okay? Sit down. Have the courage. It does take courage. Have the courage to review it and review it in its entirety. This might be uncomfortable, I know, but it's worth the effort to take a look at your entire financial picture. And if you know where you are, you know where you stand, you can make financial decisions from an empowered place with strength, rather than making financial decisions out of fear, which can cause hardship or problems because maybe you're not making the best decisions when you're fearful or stressed out, or if you're not engaged with your money, okay? Once you've reviewed your financial situation in its entirety, you can actually see the steps that you need to take in order to reverse the things that have made you stressed out. So let's say you've got a little bit in savings. Your employer's cut your paycheck by 25% and you're tight on cash. If you have a 401k with your company, you may be wondering if you should take out a loan or withdraw from your 401k, your 403b, or 457 right now. Now, before you do that, you should think twice. Not once, you should think twice. And if you want to know why, go back to our last episode, because I did a whole episode about why you want to think twice before taking a loan or withdrawal from your 401k or from any defined contribution retirement savings plan. Do your homework, okay? Your future self will thank you. Let's move on to number 2. Well, before I do, let me just say this. This is the perfect time to educate yourself on what options are available and to really understand the downside of doing so. After all, the last thing you want to do is make any financial move that can hurt you in the future. So take a moment, invest some time. It's absolutely free. You guys don't have to give your name or your email address. You don't have to give us any personal information. Just take some time, invest it in yourself. Be smarter with your money. Let's move on to the second thing that you can be doing right now to help reduce financial stress. That is, ask for relief from your creditors. What does that mean? Well, if you aren't sure how you're going to pay your mortgage or your next month's rent, your utilities, your car loan, your credit cards, listen, you're not alone. 69% of people have less than 4 months in their, to be able to cover in savings to be able to cover 4 months worth of expenses. 36% of Americans are paying bills late or will have to in the next month. That's scary, but it is reversible. One simple way to reduce financial stress is to ask about payment options that are available to you from your creditors. And while it's up to the discretion of each company, or in the case of rent, it's up to the discretion of each landlord, many companies are granting customers leeway in actually paying their bills. In some cases, they're allowing customers to pause payments for a period of time or be flexible with the payments that are due. But here's the deal. Don't wait until you can't pay before you reach out. Be proactive. And I know it takes a lot of courage, so, get that courage up, get that phone in your hand, whether it's, your mobile, and go ahead and dial that number. Be proactive. If you think you're going to be stretched out or you're going to be unable to pay next month, inquire as soon as possible, you guys. The last thing that you want to do is to assume creditors will automatically waive late fees because of the crisis. And when it comes to rent, many cities have temporarily halted evictions right now. And if you aren't sure how you're going to be able to pay next month's rent, first look into your rights as a tenant before you speak with your landlord. To provide relief for student loan borrowers, the CARES Act, which was passed in March of 2020, placed all federal student loans in automatic forbearance. What does that mean? That basically means that all federal student loan payments are automatically stopped from March 31st of this year until September 30th of 2020. I'm going to repeat that because that's a big deal. If you have a federal student loan, it's automatically in forbearance or payments are waived between March of 2020 until September 30th of 2020. After September 30th, you got to start paying on your federal student loan. The CARES Act, and listen carefully, does not apply to private student loans. So, many institutions that provided private student loans are actually providing relief and allowing some borrowers to pause monthly payments. Should your lender allow you to pause monthly payments, you better ask if interest is still going to accrue on that loan balance. And just make sure that you know if it is or if it isn't. We recommend at 401k Maneuver to contact your lender and explain your financial situation, be honest, and see if they'll work with you. Okay? The third one, cancel subscriptions that you don't need. This is a big one, you guys. I know that you're going to hate to hear this, but it's a good time to review your monthly subscriptions and cut what you don't need. If you have a budget, and we do this, when I say we, my wife and I, go through it line by line and see what it is that you can cancel. If you don't have a budget, look at your last 2 months' bank statements. Highlight all of the items that you could cancel. Once you have a list of the services that you can cut, do your research, and this is big, and look into the terms of the agreements. If you have to pay extra to cancel early, do the math and see if it makes sense to do it now or to wait in the future. But make sure you take the money that you saved when you cancel those subscriptions, either stash it in your savings account or pay an upcoming bill, but you want to avoid the temptation to spend it on takeout or Uber Eats. Remember, the whole purpose of canceling some monthly subscriptions is to help to bolster your savings or to pay down debt. You want to avoid the temptation to spend it on a order-in retail service, Amazon, Walmart, Costco, whatever, okay? So part of what we're passionate about at 401k Maneuver is not only helping you be better investor and a better saver, but it's also on being a better steward with your money, avoiding temptation to buy, as Jim Cramer likes to say, okay? So let's move on to number 4, and that is save whatever you can, you guys. The situation many Americans find themselves in right now is partly due to their lack of savings, and that's correctable. Having a larger savings cushion may potentially make this crisis less stressful, but listen, what's done is done. And here's a cool little saying that I like to share with people that I run into. Endure some short-term pain for long-term gain. So endure the short-term pain of doing without that favorite new shirt or new designer shoes in order to feel more comfortable well into the future. Looking into the future, having cash saved may help greatly reduce your financial stress. And if you're still receiving a full paycheck, or if you've cut expenses to cover your bills, consider redirecting some of your usual expenses into your emergency savings account. Now, we talked earlier about how 69% of the people polled in that survey had less than 4 months of savings. Well, this is a great way that you can actually bolster that. And there's varying opinions on how much money that you should have saved to make yourself feel comfortable. Is it 4 months? Is it 6 months worth of savings to cover 6 months worth of expenses? I ran into a guy a couple months ago who had 2 years worth of savings covered to cover 2 years worth of expenses. Now, that's his opinion. I have my opinion and you have yours, but you want to make sure that you have adequate savings to cover and what I would consider, what we would consider at 401k Maneuver, 4 months worth of expenses. Now, here's some things that you can save money on right now that you would otherwise be spending money on, and that is dinner out with friends and family, gas, ride shares or public transportation, lunch during the work week, morning coffee at the drive-thru. Now here's the rub for everybody watching. While you're comforting in place, like me, that's all stuff that's pretty easy to do. But when things return back to normal and you go back to public life, are you going to be able to resist the temptation to do those things, to save money on things that you normally spend it on? And that's why you're thinking about this now. So if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, make a commitment to yourself to continue saving money on things that you're saving money on right now. Eating out less money in gas, sharing rides, avoiding spending $5 a day on that boutique coffee. You know, I met a multimillionaire some time ago and we were just talking about great ways to save money and being a good steward and having discipline with your money. And he said, you know, those people that spend $5 a day on coffee, that's their prerogative. But here, I can afford to do that quite easily. I don't. I home brew my coffee. That's his words, not mine. Now, I'll tell you, my personal life, I have a similar philosophy, but I will admit to you, I do like once a month springing on a $5 cup of designer coffee. It's pretty nice. Otherwise, I'm making it at home. And you should too. Okay? Even if you can save $50 a month or $100 a month, until the economy picks back up, you'll be glad that you did. Now, let's talk about the fifth, and I think the most important thing that you can be doing right now to help reduce your stress. And that is, well, I'm not going to share it with you just yet. I'm going to say this. If you didn't know me and somebody pointed me out on the street and said, hey, that guy is a financial professional, he helps people with investments and savings and things like that, I bet that you probably would either think negatively of me or you might be intimidated to talk to me. And that's perfectly fine and reasonable. Having been in this industry for 20 years, I know there's a good reason why people are intimidated, embarrassed, or afraid to talk to somebody in my profession. And I'll share that with you right now. Many people, many smart people that are at the top of their game in their profession, whether you're an expert plumber, whether you're an expert engineer, a cardiologist, a teacher, anything. You may be intimidated to talk to somebody like me because you don't understand industry jargon in the financial world and you're embarrassed that you don't. You're a really smart person, but you don't understand industry jargon in the financial world. Or you're worried about getting bad advice that might help somebody more than it actually helps you. Or getting steered towards funds or investments that cost a lot of money. Those are good reasons. But I'm here to tell you, you need to change your attitude on that. Because here's why. The fifth thing that you can be doing right now to help reduce or relieve your financial stress is actually talking to an independent expert. Being proactive greatly reduces your financial stress. And if you're worried about your financial situation or you're unsure about your investments, reach out to a third-party expert for help. Here's another reason why people don't talk to somebody for financial help. They may feel like they don't have enough money saved and it won't matter whether they get help or not. And I got news for you. Whether you got $5 or $5 million, it's all you have. It's all you have. So get that out of the way. Get your ego out of the way and just get help. Okay? If you're concerned you don't have enough money, You haven't saved enough money, or you're embarrassed. Don't be, you guys. Just get it out of the way. The worst thing that you can be doing right now is sticking your head in the sand and avoiding the problem in its entirety. If you've got a spouse that likes to stick their head in the sand, kids or grandkids that are sticking their head in the sand, show them that knowledge is power, and their future self will thank them for actually leveling up and increasing their knowledge. It's not as hard as you think, and it's not as intimidating as you think. Speaking with a third-party expert takes the emotion out of your situation and helps you to make better financial decisions, not just for now, but for well into the future. At 401k Maneuver, we exist to help employees, people just like you, grow and protect their 401k accounts. We not only strive to be your source for retirement savings education, but also how to be a good steward with your money. And we invite you to check out our no-cost 401k Maneuver Masterclass video series. You can find the link below in the description of this video to find quick access to our 30-minute no-cost masterclass. In just 30 minutes, you'll discover 3 strategies that may help you improve your account performance so you may have more money, creating a more fulfilling retirement. How to manage risk to minimize losses during bad markets like the one that we just went through so you can keep more of what you've made. And that's really important. You may also learn how to reduce fees that harm account performance. So more of your investment grows for your retirement. You keep more money in your back pocket. Listen, we spent over a year creating this masterclass. And this just isn't industry opinion, even though we have over 80 years of experience doing what we do at 401k Maneuver. This masterclass was designed around hard research, academic research for your benefit. And this masterclass literally has the potential to change the direction of your retirement future. So, go in the description below, click the link for our 30-minute no-cost masterclass series, and also do us a favor. Like this video and hit the little bell to the right of the screen so you get a notification every time we post a new free video to help you become a better investor, a better saver, and a better steward with your money. And share this with the family and friends that you care most about. Because after all, if you're not stressed and they are, who wins? You do. But you can be that hero in the journey to help drag other people along by helping them decrease their stress about their money. And I'm going to leave you with this. During this pandemic, not only am I sheltering in place, you're sheltering in place, and I just want to give a huge thank you to our essential workers. Man, I love all you guys. And that goes for all of our healthcare professionals, all of our truckers that are out there working long hours, all the people that are keeping our grocery stores shelves stocked, all of our gas stations working, all of our shelves stocked throughout the country. Listen, big thanks to all you guys. And I'm super appreciative of the people that are keeping my neighborhood free of trash. All my trash haulers, man, I'm grateful for all of you guys and gals around the country keeping this beautiful nation clean and safe. All of our police officers, all of our sheriffs, all of our firefighters, thank you for all that you guys do. Keep on trucking. Remember, tough times don't last. Tough people do. And we will get through this bigger and better as Americans. Big love to all you guys. Check us out on 401kmaneuver.com. Check us out on 401kmaneuver.com/blog. It's the #1 blog on the internet related to 401k material. All right, you can simply, I'm not going to tell you what you can do. Go check it out yourself. And if you want third-party help on what you can do to potentially improve the performance of your 401k account, that's why we're here. We're an online service that can help you potentially do better with your 401k account, and you never have to meet with an advisor face-to-face. Have a great night, everybody. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your neighbors. We'll see you on the next episode.